Welcome to Gulfstream today. Ron Nicoletti along with Katie Stazak. And boy, we got some great information for you today. First, we want to let you know we got a fast main track, firm turf course, beautiful day in South Florida. We have a nice, huge carryover in the Rainbow Six, which starts in race number 3, $301,000 plus. But we just got some information. We're going to have a mandatory payout of the Rainbow Six, the Pick 5, and the Super High 5. That is on Sunday, June 28th. That is the end of the year here in Florida. We start anew on July 1st. So mandatory payouts in the Rainbow Six, the Pick 5, and the Super High 5. And what that means on the Rainbow Six, if it lasts till the mandatory payout, that is big carryover, you don't have to have that one unique ticket.
Absolutely not. And if that Rainbow Six carryover can last another 3 days and make it to a mandatory payout, we're going to be seeing numbers in the millions.
Oh, without a doubt, we'll see numbers in the millions and everything like this. It's always been so much fun. So that is Sunday, June 28th, the mandatory payouts in all our wagers there, the Super High 5, the Pick 5, and of course the Rainbow Six, which is really a lot of fun, especially when it gets to that, because people just get goofy over it, and I don't blame them. Let's take a look at Thursday's card. As I mentioned, we have a fast main track, a firm turf course. Our first race is on the turf today. It's a 5-furlong sprint. Claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, non-winners of 3 races in life, $12,500. Jockey on the 2 is Christian Dominguez. And note that they scratched the main track only in here, number 8, Queen of the Spa. I went with the number 7 on top of my ticket, so we'll start there. Currently favored up there 2-1, but a long time before our first race. About 55 minutes to post. Pure Crazy Luck, who ran well fresh here versus better last summer, makes her first start since she was claimed out of a $12,500 condition claimer going 6 furlongs. That was on the main track. It was October 3rd. Jenna Antonucci reunites this mare with Edgar Zayas, who was in the saddle when she ran that good second sprinting on the turf, albeit last July.
That was my only concern coming off an 8-month layoff. Definitely has a little bit stacked up against her, but she's never finished off the board in her 5-race career, and I wouldn't be surprised at all, especially with Edgar Zayas of the Irons, gets the perfect trip, and it works out. That being said, I had to put another horse that's on your ticket. You have it in second. I gave her the edge, and that is What's Up Kiddo. This one kicked clear to a 2-length victory in her first start off the claim for trainer Bernardo Lopez last time out on June 11th. I really like where she's being spotted today. Takes a slight step down in price tag to accommodate for a slight step up in condition. Lopez is winning turf sprints at a 25% clip and at a 27% rate with horses that won their last start. I thought those statistics work in her favor, and I gave her the edge.
Yeah, I mean, on paper, she's the one to beat because the other one hasn't run in a while. But I figured I would go with the 7, Pure Crazy Luck. All the reasons I went with the 6, What's Up Kiddo. And we both used the 5 on our ticket, so we're basically in agreement here. Dad's Little Girl moved to the Gustavo Delgado barn. The debuts on the turf today, hitting the board of 3 of 4 recent sprints against similar opposition. That was on the main track. Delgado, he's really good with new claims. He's around that 30% mark. He's got Tyler Gaffleone handling the surface, which lots to like about this horse. Got to prove it can do it on the turf, bud.
Absolutely. That's just it. That's the question mark. Hasn't run on the grass, but have to respect those connections.
Yeah, so that's our first race on the day, as I mentioned, on the turf course. Second race this afternoon, we go to the fast main track. This is a 1-mile claimer, 3-year-olds and up, non-winners of 3 races in life, or a race since December 25th or Christmas Day. That is the conditions of the race. There'll be 7 in the field. I went with the number 3, Royal Fighter. You went with the 1, Burning Time, who I have on my ticket too.
Once again, we have the same 3 horses, just shuffled around a little bit, and either of them could win this race. Burning Time broke slowly last time out and never got going back on May 17th, but 2 starts back, he was a strong second in open company at this distance. Going to face condition claimers today, so should appreciate that slight bit of class relief.
I don't know much about the jockey they have in here, Sonny Leon. We're going to have to do some research on that. But a logical horse, the drop from open company to condition claiming going that way is a pretty good angle. You got to look at that. As I mentioned, went with the 3, Royal Fighter, was dropping to the $6,250 level, stretching out to the mile distance after rallying to finish second. That was against $12,500 condition claimers going 7 furlongs. Thought this was a logical one on the ticket, but it starts our first of 2 Pick 4s of the afternoon. And I would use all 3 of these, including the number 2 Bluegrass Jam.
Especially after yesterday, trainer Louis Duco scored a big win at big odds with a horse named Bluegrass Derby, so I would not leave this one off your ticket today. He broke in the air last time out and didn't factor at the $10,000 claiming level, but the last time he ran against condition claimers, he finished 3rd behind the aforementioned Royal Fighter.
And I think Eddie Castro was on board to win yesterday, and he's back aboard today, so we're going to try and catch the lightning in a bottle 2 days in a row. But basically, it's the 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, or box them up, we think at least, for the start of our first of 2 pick 4s on the afternoon. We mentioned the Rainbow Six, we mentioned the mandatory payout on June 28th, but we have a fantastic carryover today of $301,000 plus, and with an 8-race card, it starts in this 3rd race, a 6-furlong sprint, maiden claim is 3 and up, $16,000, 2 jockey changes in here. On the 2, the rider is Omar Cameo, and on the number 4, it is Diego Gomez, and we both went to the inside horse to start our ticket, and that is Murishal.
We've got the exacta here all locked up for you in the opening leg of the Rainbow Six. This 4-year-old gelding returned from a 10-month layoff to finish 2nd against Similar up at Tampa Bay Downs on January 23rd. Posted the highest last out buyer of the field by far. Posted a 70. This one only going to have to come back from a 4-month layoff today. He's proven fresh, and I think he has the experience edge over quite a few of these runners, so that's why to put him on top.
Yeah, and the barn has been doing very good. That's Ruben Moniz and Luca Panici handling that inside post. The horse that we both put in second was the 6 Aussible. This one is gelded son of Curdle John, who's working steadily in preparation for its career debut. Ford trainer David Casson. The sophomore starts his campaign. He's got Lasix. He's got Tyler Gaffleone. But he is a first-time starter, so one of the horses that you don't want to get beat with in the opening leg of the Rainbow Six, but it is making its debut.
It's an unknown, but I like his chances in this race. He finds himself in a very good spot.
Well, use the number 7, Grand Bargain, in 3rd.
Another debuting horse. He's going to debut for trainer Jason DaCosta. Well, actually, he's debuting for the barn, but it's not his first start. He finished 5th in his debut at Tampa Bay Downs back in April. The 3rd-place finisher in that race was a horse named Nito. He just broke his maiden here at Gulfstream last week.
Well, I went with another horse that is making its first start, and that's the 5 Frankie's Trigger, son of Insummation, debuting for Safi Joseph Jr. He's working pretty good, and I think you watch the tote action on all these horses in here, some coming off the layoffs, some first-time starters. You got until post time to put your Rainbow Six together, and I'm thinking you got to look at these horses here, and if you got a single later on, I don't know if Katie does, but if you have a single later on, you might want to go a little deep in this opening stanza of the Rainbow Six.
That's an excellent idea. I say definitely look at these horses, have the rest of your legs figured out so you have enough time to get those bets in, but when you're making your final decision on this race, take a look at the field in the walking ring.
Well, our pick 5 starts in race number 4 today, and it's on the turf course. It's a 1-mile maiden claimer. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up with $35,000. The jockey on the number 4 horse in here is Miguel Vasquez. And we want to go back and show you a performance of a horse I have in 3rd, but Katie has right on top of her ticket, and that is 3 horse today is Rough Way.
Well, we've talked about a few horses coming off layoffs when they race today. Here's a horse that came off the layoff last time out and should be fitter today. This is Rough Way, back on March 29th, made a 4-wide bid to get up for 2nd. And I think here, out in the center of the racetrack a little bit, the other horse here, the 13, the 8-5 favorite, has the jump on her to begin with, and I thought she closes very, very well here. Only beaten 3/4 of a length. It was her first start in more than 6 months. It was also her turf debut. So returning from some time off again, but not quite as much. I expect her to be better in her second start over the surface.
And it was a key race where 3 horses in that race came back to win their next start. So a really popular race. And every time you see that, I don't have it on top. I'm the key race angle guy. Did not put it on top, but I'm definitely using it on my Rainbow Six ticket. I did go with the inside horse in here, and that's Patient Digna. This one is dropping to the $35,000 level. After that, I thought a really promising $50,000 turf debut at the distance. She tracked the pace in there. She was beaten only 2 3/4 lengths. Steve Gwaston is the trainer. He's got Jonathan Gonzalez handling. It's always an interesting breaking from the rail in those races. I just thought this horse ran well enough to drop down. Really like the job that Jonathan Gonzalez does on the the turf, so I put it on my ticket. You got it right in there in second in here. And who do you have it, though? We'll get to 7, too. It's hard to see around the pole here. Vivacious Annie going to wear blinkers today.
Yeah, she is going to wear blinkers. She's also going to cut back to a mile for the first time since last time out. She hung and ended up finishing 4th, beaten a length and a half on May 31st. But she finished 2nd in her 2 previous starts. Luca Panici's going to keep the ride. He's riding very well on the grass, so I like the new equipment as well as the turn back and distance.
Yeah, we're basically in agreement here, too, and everything like that, the 3, the 1, and the 7 in different orders, and that is race number 4. And don't forget that the jockey on the 4 is Miguel Vasquez, and that horse you might want to go back and take a second look at. 20 to 1 on the morning line. He's my long shot of the day, so she's my long shot of the day. So go back and take a little extra look if you got that single plan for a little later on. You might want to add that horse to your ticket. Let's go to race number 5 today. 5 furlong, maiden claimers. These are 2-year-old fillies. They're running for $35,000. 9 runners in the field, and I went with the number 8 horse in here, One Sweet Ride, and you went with number 1, Dreaming of Sue, who I have on the ticket.
I went with the first-time starter. She's going to debut for trainer Michael Petro and owner Frank Calabrese, a homebred of Calabrese. Daughter of Wildcat Air, going to debut with Lasix. She has 5 published works on record, and I took a look at this pretty impressive number. Tyler Gaffleone is going to ride for this barn. He's winning races for them at a 47% clip.
The only reason I didn't put this horse on top of the ticker is because of the inside post to the first-time starter. Sometimes the horse just is fast enough to get out there and get position. This horse is working well enough to do that, but, if you play the percentages, hard to have a first-time starter win from the inside, but do not leave that horse off your ticket. I did go with the horse you have in second, and that is One Sweet Ride. This is a $77,000 daughter of Cindy's Candy, dropping to this $35,000 level. Tracked the pace last time. She finished a distant 4th. That was her maiden special weight debut at the distant. Pete Wozlik Jr., Luca Panici in the saddle again. I thought on the drop, the previous experience, I'd put this one on top of the ticket. Who else you have on yours?
I threw in the 7, Ocala Spirit. This one is going to make her career debut today for trainer Juan Rodriguez. Posted 4 works over at Gulfstream Park West. Nothing spectacular, but they're solid, and I thought she could move forward after training over the deeper surface over there at Gulfstream Park West.
Yeah, and that's sort of why I used the 9 in here, because of that angle. That's the Gardens of Babylon. It's a daughter of Artie Schiller, debuting for trainer David Rakoff with a solid work tab showing across town at Gulfstream Park West, and it looks like horses that have been legging up over there, especially the 2-year-olds have come over here and run pretty well. Freshman gets Lasix, and as we mentioned, this one we did not mention, but this will be Miguel Vasquez. That was the last race. So, here a wide open affair for the third leg of the Rainbow Six, but the first of our final pick for the afternoon. And we have, we're only disagreement on one horse. Not really a disagreement. We just picked 2 different horses in there. Once again, let's go to race number 6. 5 furlongs on the turf. These are maiden claimers, 3 and up, $12,500. Scratch the number 4 horse, Magic Jackson. And please note that the number 7 will not wear blinkers to start, but we'll get him put on at the gate. We'll let you know more about that later on, especially our track announcer, Pete Aiello. He'll come back and give you all those updated things you meet. You used the horse on top of your ticket in here, I believe, and that's the horse that hasn't run in 14 months. I'm interested to see this race back then.
I wasn't really sold on anyone in the race, and when I looked at form, I took a look at the 8 Super Secret, and then I took a look at the layoff, and I said, you know what, this horse has run well enough that we'll see if he can come back fresh. But I want to show you this horse's last start. This is back in April of 2014. Super Secret breaks a little bit awkwardly, you see there, and ends up towards the back of the pack. But this was his turf debut, and he runs pretty well in it. You're going to see him there when we cut back into the stretch here. He is the 8, and you see the horse in front has a pretty good advantage. And take a look at how well this horse closes. He really comes flying late, and he's going to end up getting up for second. And I was pretty impressed by this. Really like the acceleration there. Just going to get up at the wire for the place. And I'm taking a chance with a colt coming off of a 14-month layoff, but I just thought he had plenty of upside. He's been working well, he's in 4 5/8, so he should be fit. and Jesus Rios is going to ride today.
Well, I did not use that one on the ticket, and I looked down and I said, "Oh, look, Katie likes this horse." And then I looked down; it's 2-1 on the morning line. It's the favorite. So maybe,
wow! I did not
maybe
notice
it's something
that.
that I did not do. So I'm going to have to go back and take a second look, especially seeing the way that horse closed. Albeit 14 months ago, I did go with the 2 who Katie has in second. It's Brown Paso. This one has its claiming tag sliced in half today. First start since rallying to finish third. That was a $25,000 maiden test at this 5-furlong distance. It was back on April 8th. The trainer is Oscar Gonzalez, and he's got Juan D. Lopez handling the drop down. So I went with the drop down angle in here, which you also have on your ticket. Going to have to go back and take a look at that number 8 horse again in here. The other horse we used on your ticket, we both did, was the number 1, and that is Graham.
Yeah, he ran well in his first start off the clean for trainer Bernardo Lopez last time out. That was on June 18th. Finished third here at this level. The only thing I didn't like is that he's going to turn around a little bit quickly, only a week's rest for this horse.
Well, I think the 6 Roma's Time is a horse you have to look at, and he was given some time off after failing to hit the board in a series of route races on both turf and dirt. The trainer's Dave Fawkes. He has the gelding really training consistently for the return, and has Tyler Gaffleone in the saddle, quarterback, and the turn back to 5 furlongs on the grass. And I just thought this was an intriguing mix, and this horse might run well in here today. And on the board, I believe at 6-1 today, so not a bad choice. And type of horse that if you get beat out of the Rainbow Six because you didn't use them with those good connections, you might be mad.
Absolutely, that's a great value for those connections. I would certainly in this race go deep and not leave that one off the ticket.
Let's go to race number 7. 6 furlongs. Claim is fillies and mares 3 and up, non-winners of 2 races in life or 3-year-olds, and the claiming level is $12,500,000. And we'll see how race number 7 plays out. There's 8 runners in it, and Katie and I both ended up with the number 8 horse in here. That's Desi Mazar, and this one 6-1 on the morning line.
That is fantastic. I like her even more now. She's going to cut her tag in half today after finishing off the board here over a sealed track on June 10th. I just don't think she liked the surface. A lot of horses don't take to a sealed track well. They don't get over it as well. I think she's, makes a case for that. She was third at the $25,000 level just 2 starts ago, so going to run for 12.5 today, and for the first time since she broke her maiden at that level by an emphatic 8 lengths.
Yeah, that's one of my key angles. I always like to look back and see, this horse won impressively at $12,500 level. Then they, logically step it up to see how it run against the $25,000 level. Dropping back down today. Lots of things to like about number 8 in here, Desi Mazar. The horse that I have in second is the 3, Corinthians Glory, now in the Ruben Munges barn. This is a daughter of Corinthian, is trained sharply up at Palm Meadows in preparation for her first start. Since she dueled for the lead, she weakened to finish 6th. She was the favorite that day against similar during April. So this barn, like I mentioned, doing good work in here and everything. And I just threw this one on the ticket for all those angles. Was favored last time out. I don't know if that's going to be the case today. Actually is the morning line favorite.
Yeah, 3-1. That might be one that I missed, but we both did also use the 5 Moonlight Salsa, and I like this one as well. She owns the highest last out buyer of the field after finishing second at this level and distance on May 28th. She lost to a filly named Wilshire Air, who won her 3rd straight race that day, but she was almost 8 lengths clear of the 3rd place finisher. I think she figures very well in this race.
Yeah, and I mean that 73 buyer that she got is certainly better than anybody else's in the field. So if you're a buyer aficionado, this one may be the way to go. I think you got to have that one on your ticket. Anybody else, you went to the inside horse too, and that's Gallo Dorado.
I thought she showed a vast improvement last time out with the addition of blinkers. After finishing off the board in 6 straight starts on both dirt and turf, she finished a strong second against similar here on June 7th. That had to be in part at least to that equipment change. She's going to keep them on today, and Edgar Zayas is going to ride.
Yeah, and you get 10-1 on that horse, so a pretty nice wide open race today. So the way it looks so far as we head into the final race of the day, this Rainbow Six is not an easy task today. I didn't find a single. I don't know if Katie did, but I did not find a single today. Let's go to the 8th and final race. Of course, this also has the Super High 5. It's 1 mile on the turf. Claimers 3-year-olds and up, non-winners of 3 races in life or race since December 25th at $8,000. The claiming level, scratch the 6 massive. Note that the 11 does get in today and will be ridden by Jesus Rios. And we want to go back and show you the horse that we both have in third in here, and that is Cactus Kid, who lacked room in the stretch last time out.
He did. He had a little bit of trouble, and I thought this was worth showing. You're going to take a look. He's the 2 horse in this race, and he is stuck behind a wall of horses, doesn't have anywhere to go. Watch the rider just sit on him here. The 5 horse finally gets up, but then the 9 horse comes in over on him, and the rider's holding him. He has nowhere to go in this race. I did not put him on top, neither did you. We're in complete agreement here, but I thought we should show that because this is a horse that you should have on the ticket somewhere, especially in your super high 5.
Yeah, and that was going 7.5 furlongs, and if he does get room in there, he just explodes, and if maybe he doesn't win it, he's at least second in there, getting that extra half a furlong today, so maybe that was it. But I really like the 8 horse in here, Discreet Ed. Turned it back to a mile after setting the pace from the rail before weakening at the 8th pole to finish third. That was against $10,000 open claimers going a mile in the 16th. It's the son of Discreet Cat, and I think he's spotted perfectly in the nightcap.
Absolutely. Turning back in distance, dropping to face condition claimers. I thought he was the absolute horse to beat, and he's run so well at a mile. 2 wins in a second from 4 starts.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like the logical choice there. But Cactus Kid, you make a good point, especially showing that video where you don't know what would have happened if he would have gotten some room. The horse that we both have in second is the number 3 horse in here, and that's Global Glow, who's dropping and turning back today.
Yeah, he finished 4th behind Discreet Ed last time out for trainer Lonnie Otterburn, another who should move forward when facing condition claimers today.
Yeah, getting apprentice Tyler Gaffleone in the saddle today. So that's how we see Thursday's 8 race card. We got some great information. Not only do we have this fantastic carryover in the Rainbow 6, which starts in race number 3, but we got that mandatory payout on Sunday, December 28th, June 20th, got us in Christmas ready, June 28th, and here's the great part about it, as Katie mentioned a little earlier, if this thing lasts till Sunday, boy, are they going to be betting it.
It'll be Christmas in July, isn't that what they call it,
That's
Ron?
what I was thinking, what it was, Christmas in July. So December, I did it again, June 20. Now she's got me thinking about Christmas. Yeah, that's because a little earlier there was a horse that was, the conditions were Christmas Day. But so Sunday, June 28th, mandatory payout in the Rainbow 6. Also in the Super High 5, the Pick 5, whatever bets are open that day. You just get the most winners and you win it.
Happy holidays.
Yeah, good luck, everybody.